How many of us have them friends?
9 to 5.
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 It'll be fine, guys. Everything is gonna be just fine.
No, it's not.
It is. All you gotta do is just move the stuff.
Oh no, Torrance.
Okay.
Torrance, I believe it'll be fine.
Kyle has all.
I have nothing but faith in Daniel to figure this out.
I don't have faith in myself. I have faith. Actually, I have faith. That's
I
why
believe in you, brother.
I'm worried about it because it takes forever. Anyways, this is the blackest podcast on the world. Yes, I said on the world in the month.
We're gonna let it slide.
In the history of podcasting, in the history of blackness. If you thought for 1 second this was not the first day of Black History Month, you got us fucked up. We are an all black podcast. We're majority black, actually, except for Kyle.
The lies must stop in 2021, Daniel.
Anyways, episode 158 of the 9 to 5 podcast. I am one of your hosts, Danny.
You got Kyle.
And Torrance.
When is Chinese New Year? That already happened, right?
Assuming from the sneaker releases, yes. I don't know though. Why do you ask?
No, I was wondering. This podcast about work, life, and balancing it all. Yeah, whatever. Follow us on social media at 9 to 5 podcast with an S on Instagram and Twitter.
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Perfect. Yeah, give us perfect 5-star ratings. Yeah, give it a subscribe on YouTube, man. Tell people you get to see our faces on YouTube. And give us 5-star ratings and thumbs up and subscribe on both, or else we'll be upset.
Honestly, like I'm surprised like even more people out of the millions of listeners that we have aren't watching the YouTube videos, because Torrance be making some faces during these episodes, y'all. And honestly, if you don't watch the video, you're really missing out on half of the audio-visual experience.
I want to be very clear here that this is
really
the
half
why,
that makes the show.
This is the reason why I don't post a lot of videos of myself, because I cannot control my fucking faces. My face does things. They do things. It's all involuntary. I don't mean to make them, and sometimes they happen.
What,
and then
I Tourette's or something.
Basically, and then you
so
make gifts out of
you. You claiming false disabilities? That's crazy.
You just said it, nigga. I'm just saying what you said.
No. I asked a question. You said yes.
Then your bitch ass makes gifts of these things, and then now it's just on repeat. Then y'all send it to places, and people see it, and people be playing. I don't want.
Sorry for trying to raise your profile, Torrance. We're trying to get you to the next level.
Okay,
Nobody
Kyle.
wants to go to the next level until it's time to get to the next level.
Right?
And it shows.
I think about people on TikTok. I think about the one little girl on TikTok. I'll show y'all, but she's like real strong. She's like
yes.
And every time she do a move, they got somebody like jumping into
that
like a refrigerator or whatever. She's strong as shit. But I know for a fact I wouldn't be happy if someone.
I saw some videos today where she was reacting to people's like reactions of her, and like she was doing stuff on top of their videos, and it was funny. So she. It
was funny, but I'm gonna tell you what now. If the whole internet was making fun of me, nigga, I don't know if I could be like,
she getting money though.
Like, she getting bank from it, and I love it. But I don't know. I need to get my head out my own ass and be like, all right, like.
Bro, when I saw one dude react to that, and he threw himself into the refrigerator,
like threw his like his whole body was in the air.
Trying to figure out how he did that. Like
his jumped.
Whole body was sideways.
Somebody threw him. Like somebody had to have thrown him.
That wasn't a natural jump.
The shit people do for this goddamn TikTok.
He was flying like Jazzy Jeff out the fresh
right,
Bel Air house.
That was nuts.
That nigga got thrown.
The views expressed on this podcast are our own, and not anybody else or co-workers or former co-workers or TikTok stars, friends. Other than watching TikTok and Twitter videos, how are we doing?
Oh, surviving the snow. Got a couple inches here in DC. Second snow of the season.
Oh, a couple
nothing
inches.
Compared to y'all.
Oh, a couple of inches of
Y'all,
snow.
y'all
Wow.
buried alive over there
How
in Chicago.
cute.
How convenient is that? Jamal's meat been in the damn snow when he walked. I feel so bad. I'm like, bro, I can't believe my dog's meat is all cold and shit. I know he's struggling.
Danny.
Danny, what are you talking about?
Nobody wants to
Stop.
hear about.
Just
You never
damn
seen
dogs.
it?
No, that was
It's like a. All right, it's a foot. Could you imagine if you walked outside and instantly, damn, my meat is in ice? That's not comfortable. Anywho, so yeah, I'm not doing. Yeah, we can't leave the house. We stuck in the crib. A dog can't even piss in peace. You got icy piss all over. It's getting real hectic out here. It's
Where's Dr.
cabin
Fauci
fever.
with this vaccine? Danny needs to get out the house yesterday.
clearly.
I need a vaccine as soon as possible.
Over here texting us
Meanwhile-
about boys trips and shit.
Bruh,
Boys trip to where, Daniel?
Where
we could
the
easily go to
Where?
Tulum and turn up somewhere.
Tulum got all the Rona. What you talking about?
Let's go somewhere. It have to be Tulum. We go to like fucking like Arizona or like New Mexico or like even or we can all go to LA, go to like Joshua Tree or something and just hang out. It don't have to be anybody but just us. Let's just hang out and have alcohol.
Damn, you really
like,
need to get away
smoke
from your
cigars and
wife,
stuff.
huh? Is everything at home okay, Danny?
It's
Blink-
great. We just
blink
been around
once
each other.
if it's not okay.
No, we are fine. We just been. It's nothing else to do. We've had all the conversations.
No,
We've talked about everything.
I'm like bored of watching TV.
We've been married a year. We've talked about everything.
I feel
Not
like
even
a fucking
more.
robot. Like, yeah, like I'm running out of responses. As is she. So we just need to. Everyone needs a break from each other.
And it's something to experience to come back and be like, oh.
Yeah, it's more so for me wanting to get outside and see stuff. I need to get away from my old lady. But let's just hang out. Let's have dude talk and like fight each other and go on jogs and stuff. I need to restore the feeling, something different.
I don't know what is. Nothing is. If you don't come over here, I won't say don't come over here, but like LA is not the place to come. Like
we gotta go in the desert. We don't go. Yeah, we don't go to fucking LA. Just go to the desert.
The desert. They got a lot of bugs out there, yo.
You know, Torrance doesn't do the outdoors.
I mean, I could do the outdoors. I have dibbled and dabbled with the outdoors a lot more now.
Dibbled and dabbled.
Dibbled and dabbled.
I dibbled and dabbled now. I will play. I can play a little bit outside now. Okay.
Outside, vitamin D. You can. I hope so, my nigga.
Well, I actually take vitamin D pills. I actually take vitamin D supplements because I don't go outside that much.
A vampire.
No, but I mean, over here it's a little gloomy. It ain't snowing. It's like 65.
Nocturnal ass nigga.
Huh?
This motherfucker.
What you
dibble. You need to be dibbling dabbling.
Nah, but it's not
with
even
nature.
like safe.
Absolutely, I don't
It's
fuck
not
with
even
nature.
safe to go outside of LA right now.
Exactly. That's why you go to places that don't nobody be at.
Right.
If
I was somewhere where outside was a thing, you drive out somewhere an hour, 2 hours, maybe do a little staycation, even if it's like a hotel staycation or something, or Airbnb for one night. Just do it. Get out. That's what I would need to be. I wish I could do that right now in Chicago in the Midwest.
But Chicago's it's a foot of snow. And
you got what else you gonna say?
Is it gonna stop anytime soon for y'all, or what's
tonight,
the forecast?
After 2.5 days, I think when this podcast drops, it'll have stopped last night.
Okay.
After like starting from Friday.
Okay, yeah. I think it's supposed to snow here in DC for another day or so. I think.
Streets is done pretty much, and I'm on the countdown. Anyway.
Well, good thing for me is I go into the studio this week to start my EP recording.
Hey, we in the studio.
My EP. So
I'm sorry.
We in the
when
studio.
When you said that, Torrance, I instantly thought of that meme of Jocelyn and Stevie J.
Do you know which one he's talking about? Kyle?
Like Jocelyn is like dancing, and like Stevie J is like in a studio.
Stevie J in a studio just puts pictures in my head. So
you never see that clip of like Stevie J sitting down in the chair like this. He's just like moving around, and Jocelyn's like dancing like in front of him. All right.
So are you saying that Torrance is about to have the music career of Jocelyn?
No, I'm just when I hear the studio, that's what came.
That's
up in
immediately
my-
what you think of because something's
So-
wrong with you.
So you're Torrance. You're essentially the Puerto Rican princess in Danny's head. You are essentially the talent level of
That's
Jocelyn.
not what I
Hernandez.
said.
See, here's the thing. Kyle has done this multiple times.
Danny
I
said
say,
Danny
I
said
say
you
that
would
I
lose
have
in the
involuntary movements. He says I have Tourette's. Danny said, "Oh, I thought of this."
First of all,
Kyle said,
first of
Danny
all-
said, you have the talent and the
of all-
expertise of Jocelyn Hernandez, the Puerto Rican
Phoebe-
princess.
First of
Kyle,
all,
you know what all I'm gonna say to this, Kyle.
First of all, I asked if you had Tourette's. You were the one that said yes.
I said basically because that was the only way to shut you the fuck
So
up.
like I
This is
said, you
great.
said it,
This
not
is
me.
great negativity.
We've known Danny for so long, and I know him I
This
know
is
him
what
so
happens,
well.
Kyle.
I'm able to
when-
tell what he really means. Daniel pulls a lot of his punches, but I can read through the pulls. I know what he actually means to say, the unfiltered.
No, we need to make
Danny
another
Billy
season of
Torrance.
Love and Hip Hop. Torrance, you're gonna be on the cast.
Love
Let's
it.
get it.
Could you imagine
down
my
the-
black ass on that shit?
Shutting down the studio over and over again. All kind of cool shit. But yeah, congrats, Torrance. I'm excited. It is a good quarantine. I tell you what, man. Not being able to perform sucks, but creating content has been a little bit of a saving grace when you can. Like for me, Parallel Park was this summer, and that whole feeling has like came and went as far as like feeling fulfilled from that.
Yeah.
Because it's been so long. But like with the pop-up TV, that's been great for me.
Mhm.
Because it's like, every other Friday you get to perform for an hour or so. We shot this really cool like short for it that we're gonna drop I think this week. So it's definitely keeping me sane
Mhm.
in between the pandemic and other shit. So shout out to you, Torrance.
Do you know how many tracks it's gonna be yet?
It's gonna be like maximum 6.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum 6 tracks, but I have technically all of them written thus far.
Do I get EP credits or how does that work? My cut.
Yeah.
How does that
What's my
Huh.
split?
I wish I understood what you niggas are
Since you're
talking about.
signed. Do you remember that one
Yeah,
time
you're
I
signed
asked
to
you?
us.
Yeah, remember that, Torrance? Remember that one time 8 years ago when I asked you to sign something just because you needed
8 years
I
ago?
needed your signature to like for meal swipes back at Elon. Remember that? It was like 10 years ago. You remember that?
Don't think I recall what is...
So I don't know how to say this, but technically, anything you record, I get 85% of.
Yeah. I
And
own the
Kyle's
masters.
also he's a C level of my company too. So we technically I don't know. I don't want to say this in a way that makes you upset, but you're gonna have to find a way to compensate us, is what I'm trying to say, because we
We've
like
we put a lot into this, and so we want our investment to return dividends now.
like pretty much all of your dreams and hopes. It's like good job for having them, but in reality, those are ours. We own those.
You own it because I signed.
You watched
Yeah,
did you watch the TLC biopic, right?
It's worse than that.
You remember the checks they were getting from Pebbles? You're gonna get less.
You know what Pebbles did? Yeah, this is a little bit more.
A
little bit more than
I'm
that.
about to. I'm tired. Y'all not exhausted yet?
Yeah, Torrance, why we're podcasting because we're depressed. All of us are individually in horrible moods. Life's coming at us fast. We're fucked. So this is why we are trying to record and Harlem Shake through the fucking pressure. Do we have a Black History fact of the damn day?
Yes, on this day, February 1st in 1902, the amazing poet Langston Hughes was born.
Langston Hughes. Shout out to Black people. Shout out to Black History Month. This is our last month of recording before we go on a little hiatus of the 9 to 5. So these last 4 episodes, we need all the love we can get with the retweets, the quotes, the ats, all of it.
Spreading the
Because
word.
And the exciting thing
Or not.
about it is that I plan to be as violent as I can during this time.
Let me tell
and
you.
I'm choosing, like I said, when I said I'm choosing violence, all of 2021, I'm choosing it. So I hope you don't start no shit with me.
I was in a very bad mood last weekend, and I was driving home from my parents' house, and you know how when you get to a always stop sign and there's no one around, you come to a slow, but you don't stop all the way. So I come into one of these I'm very familiar with. I see that there's a older white couple walking their dog. They're about 30, 40 feet away from the corner. So I do my usual pull to half stop, look all the ways, and I go, right? But as I'm turning the corner, I see these white people give me this double stare. So I roll down my window and I proceed to stare at the white woman. And she goes, "That wasn't a full stop." And so, me being in a very, very bad mood and deciding we're choosing violence all of 2021, I look at her and I say, "Well, fuck you then." And then I
Nice.
rolled up my window and then drove off. That's the energy we gotta give these people, especially these ones that think that they're the police.
Oh yeah.
They run
I
shit.
would have.
I'm tired of y'all. I'm not dealing with y'all this 2021.
I would
I
add
refuse.
at the end, just add a bitch on the end, like fuck you.
I think
then,
a bitch would have really.
That really would have set up her husband before I rolled the window up was like figures. I should have figured a guy out the car and beat his old ass. But
Yeah,
I
I
wanted
mean,
to get home and eat dinner.
I'm super into like being zen and like catching a vibe and like whatever, being to myself. But also when people say things that are inappropriate, I have a really short temper. Like I've been in fights and stuff. Like it is what it is. So for you, I think just try to be as mean as you possibly
Usually
can.
I don't care. Usually I don't care about enough. But I've decided I'm not letting that shit slide this year. Not in 2021. I refuse. So yes, keep that energy, everyone. We choosing violence all 2021.
This is fantastic. This is what I envisioned going into this
This is
year.
what
I know
2020
you call me a
brought me
super
to.
villain.
Our super village. Our
I
super
know
villain.
y'all. Both of y'all call me super villains publicly on Twitter.
Well,
And
you've been a supervillain since 2000.
how have I been a super villain?
Danny, you are
literally.
Danny, you have literally
You
been
are
the
a villain.
supervillain. You
Okay,
have been the
no, real talk.
supervillain in every instance.
I have not been. No, bro. No. Any kind of confrontation I've been in since y'all know me, I did not start it, bro.
I'm not saying that you started every single confrontation that you've been in. That's not what I said.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples where I've. All right, give me some.
Danny,
examples.
you've just always chosen violence, and it's not a bad thing because everyone is jumping on board. Hey, you're the trendsetters, which what I'm hearing, right? You should be honored. You should be honored that your entire life, that I've known you, you've chosen violence.
You cannot give me an example, a legitimate example of like, yeah, Danny was like a super villain in this.
We don't need to.
I don't need to say it online. I don't need to say it in public.
We can edit it out if we need to. I want to hear it.
No, we don't want to edit it out because we never remember to do those post features and post production. I don't want anything to accidentally slip through and then relationships are ruined. You lose your job.
I don't think I've been.
We gotta. People calling us like, wait, that's what happened while you were.
Next thing we know, your wife is leaving you, and you left with the dog.
No, this is worse. Y'all making it seem like I've killed.
We don't want your wife to leave you and you get left with the dog. That's a double loss.
I'm not saying it's gonna be. All I'm saying is, Danny, you've just always been a supervillain, and it's all right. Whenever there's a situation, Danny, you've constantly been that like.
How?
You've always been that nigga, and it's
Danny,
fine. We can discuss it, but we're not doing it now.
The first 6 months of the pandemic, telling people it was the wrong day of the week.
Oh yeah,
that's just light supervillainy. That's just like
that's a joke. That's not even being a super villain.
Not when people are.
I think a lot of times y'all think that just because I might react a certain way to something that I'm all of a sudden this bad vibe distributor or like super villain. In reality, honestly, I'm not, bro. Maybe
distributor. That's an even. I really like that. You should make that your. That should be your LinkedIn name. Like,
Oh.
That's his headline. That's your headline.
Your headline on LinkedIn.
When I get like a real creative job, my LinkedIn is gonna be just a parody account. Like it's not going. My title already is podcasting and jokes, is what it says on
Your LinkedIn account. Nothing revolving a daytime job that you like.
I mean, if this is like your version of shunning,
but
yeah.
if this is like your version
That just
of
changed.
shunning
That just changed.
traditional jobs, I'm all here for it. At least you haven't jumped in with like the little Uzi, just get face tats so that you can't have like a day job.
Oh, I do need to talk about Lil Uzi and what he just did.
This is gonna be a 2-hour-long podcast. So let's keep going.
So let's go into the news, y'all. Let's go into the news. So there was a stock market revolution. Wall Street was shooketh. For those of you who do not fully understand it, I'm going to do my best to recap it in the next couple seconds. Essentially, I know, right? I've heard it a million times, and Kyle probably knows better because he's like into that kind of shit, right?
Don't put me in this. We're gonna listen to your explanation.
Yeah,
okay.
money,
So my explanation is that
this is Torrance's weekly news
essentially there was a Reddit account, and these hedge funds were basically shorting, basically betting against GameStop to fail. Betting on GameStop to continuously be losing money, whatever. But there was a Reddit account.
Outlandish thought.
Which isn't crazy, but they were betting on it and were making a shit ton of money based on that idea. However, a Reddit account said, "No, y'all, let's buy a shit ton of GameStop stock," and basically that shot up the price of GameStop, which then fucked up all their projections on what that meant, which then caused the stock itself to be worth significantly more for the people that bought that stock. So then I believe it was the hedge fund that was trying to short it had to sell a bunch of other stock to.
It lost money pretty much.
Yeah, a lot of hedge funds lost a lot of big money.
They lost millions of dollars. However, a lot of people who were billions of dollars, but a lot of people who were sort of in this sort of revolution, gained so much money. So it went to individual people.
It's still going on too. It's not over.
It's still happening. It's still happening with certain things. And the problem is that Robinhood jumped in and decided that they were going to monitor and / shut down trading during that particular time.
That's the biggest thing to come out of all this.
That's the big sort of policy.
A technology company who the CEO, his stupid ass, decided it made sense to go on a bunch of interviews and stuff, try to make them look better.
Terrible.
And try to make it make sense when it didn't.
And he really had he didn't have really any real explanation. Long story short is there's always going to be a game that is meant for the people with the most power, whether he says it or not, whether he goes to jail for it or not. At the end of the day, as people, we got to be, especially minorities, we have to just be on top of these things and be self-educated to be able to get in or get out of situations, because in reality, there's never going to be a situation where the hood can eat. Like the Robin Hood, like that whole idea of Robin Hood being for the people, as you can see, obviously it's not.
It's not
correct.
Yeah.
And as soon as a lot of rich, because you got to think about it, I don't have to look at Robin Hood's history to think and or assume that they've probably got some kind of investments.
One of their major investors was one of the big shorters of GameStop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these people are on the boards of these VCs, oftentimes are on the boards and or at minimum just owe or have spent a lot of fucking money, and you have to answer to these investors, right? At minimum, but there's a good chance they are on some kind of board and or advisory, and the conditions of your compensation when it comes to the VC money you've been given is probably, the conditions are, to a degree at bay of the VC, the venture capitalist. So long story short, like it's the writing on the wall. Us as people got to find ways to be educated, whether it's whether it's real estate, whether it's your 401k.
Yeah, because the bag is there. People just have a formula, and because they've had that formula and know that information and know how to finesse the game, they've been able to be super fucking successful.
Well, if you go to that Reddit thread, they're about to do it with a couple additional other stocks.
Yeah, I got AMC, but I think I was too late.
I bought one share of AMC, but I I bought several of Nokia. That's apparently going to be another one that's coming up. I got my stimmy this past week, so I put a little bit of my stimmy into it. So fuck it.
Amen. Send me that thread, Kyle. Send
I
me
bought
that
some
thread.
Bitcoin,
Text me that
too.
thread.
It's like Wall Street bets or Wall
Bets,
Street Bros,
right?
I'll
That's what I thought.
find it.
Yeah.
But also,
yeah.
going back to that, like I won't share details, but I invested money back in I think it was March or something like that into Cash App with stocks and stuff, and made like an exponential return. Not like a massive, but just an exponential return. Like even on some, I probably invest in 10 or 15 different stocks in my when I just do my active Cash App joint. And there's some that like I've made double the money. It might be like $20-$40, but like still. So long story short, it's a pandemic for a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And just imagine if you own stock, you got stock options in these companies. It's exponentially fucked up or a great year for some people. Like Tesla, my position in Tesla is more than double. Like it's sick, bro. Like, but it's all of it is timing and education, and like who would like. Luckily enough, I was blessed enough to be in somewhat of a position to put money into stuff at the beginning of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't a lot, like that's still something else.
Yeah.
So just imagine if all Americans like, look, I'm gonna put $200 into these 3 companies in March. A lot of people that stimmy we waiting on, they could have had that stimmy in their savings already.
Yeah, it's like unfortunately, like such a huge percentage of the country doesn't even own a single
right.
stock.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So like,
I just started doing that.
To even be able to
recently.
have $20 to buy a fractional share of something or to buy a complete share of a singular company is a rather privileged position to be in as well. Even if you're only able to invest $10, $15, $20.
Yeah, my thing is, I mean, I've invested more than that, but even if you're someone that is not super knowledgeable about stuff, like for me, I got into stock because I worked at a company that went public, and so I saw with the number I had when I had options at the company, and then I saw what I sold it for, and I didn't do shit different but invest a couple $100 into the money that was the stock that I vested in, essentially. I got vested to buy.
That it was already vested.
Right. And that was because I would always check to see where the stock was like on a weekly basis. Oh damn, it went up $2, went up $3, went up whatever. And so then that made me like, oh, let me go into my 401k and then see what I'm invested in my 401k. And then when I got a little extra, like $100, $200, let me get some Tesla, let me get some fucking Zoom. Like I got some Zoom when the pandemic started, like Wayfair, shit that I was using, Chewy, like the dog app shit, things that I was using that I knew, like, all right, these are things that now people are going to have to rely on heavily
during this time. Absolutely.
Going back to what you said, Kyle, it's the privilege of even having some of that money, any money to spare on
available
for that. So
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
It's since we're all moving, I'm gonna be saving my money for the move and stuff like that, but gonna be doing some research and stuff to figure out where I want to do some investing right after the move when I know how many monies I have liquid to invest in.
Yeah.
Exactly. My investing hot take, which is this is not an investment podcast.
Yes,
401ks are overrated.
Advice from this podcast. We're not liable for any losses or gains you may receive.
At one point, people forget I was kind of in financial advisor, but I think 401ks are overrated. But
they absolutely are. They took the place of pensions and put the individual.
Companies don't even give you the option to have a 401k anymore.
But like you can't touch it till you're fucking 60. And sure, there's tax implications and stuff that are great, but also it's like you could easily use that money and invest it in different things. And if you need to use it between now until you're 60, if you have the discipline not to use the money for frivolous reasons, you don't have to get that ridiculous 10-20% cut if you have to take it out earlier. Like just imagine if you had that money invested liquid in something and you
needed it
relative get sick, you got to get a car, you got to fucking even put it into real estate. Maybe it is in your first house and you need 20, 30, 40, 50 bands out of your 401k and they might not qualify to take it out without penalty. Like and then the bank is making a hell of a lot more money than you think. Having that money sit for all them years too.
Just sit.
Whatever. What else is going on?
Protesters, anti-vaxxers shut down Dodger Stadium's vaccine site.
America's ashy.
I hate this place so very much. You know, and everyone talks about, like I said, I always say this. People think that LA is just such a liberal space and everyone's so liberal and understanding. No, LA is fucking shit too. Let's be very clear. It is not on an island of its own. It has its shit. And as you can see, anti-vaxxers said, no vaccine. The vaccine is bad and we're not getting in. And I have the body frequency and I have the frequency and my body won't catch it. That body was
catching
hilarious.
vibes. I like a fucking old Coachella video or something. She was smacked off something like.
It was disgusting. Yeah, I mean, I would beat somebody's ass, but I mean, if I was due to get my fucking vaccine, bruh, with what's going on, I would be beating ass.
Especially the lines that they've had at Dodger Stadium. Like some people waiting 4 hours and stuff in line. Nah, this shit get shut down. Somebody got to get these.
That's okay. I will bring me a snack. I can't wait. I will have snack, water. I will stop at Chick-fil-A.
I can't. My parents just got their first round of shots a week or two ago, so they'll be fully immunized by end of February or mid-February, I think.
Yeah, I need that.
So, this is a great time, like you said. Choose violence.
Choose violence. I'm beating that ass.
People are psychotic.
Tear that ass up.
Keep a Lizzie on you.
Something weird. I don't usually talk about Republican bullshit, but this is kind of creepy. So
I thought you were
allegedly. Do we want to do that? Are we doing that? Because we can pull up. We can do that.
Pull up what?
So let's not. Let's not do it. Let's not do that.
Y'all literally keep saying, "Pull up." You did this. You did that. Y'all. This is just a legitimate theory and conspiracy that y'all have. Y'all are QAnon.
We QAnon.
Y'all are QAnon for sure. Go ahead.
The conservative of the group.
Oh my God.
I saw a Marjorie Taylor Greene bumper sticker on your laptop, Daddy. Why are you playing us right now?
No, stop. Kyle is Herman Cain, and Torrance is Ben Carson. Go ahead.
Okay, Clarence.
Wow. Kellyanne Conway is under investigation currently because a topless picture of her daughter was posted to her Twitter account.
Did she get I saw people tweeting about this, but I didn't want to go down this rabbit hole because her child is
a minor.
Child is a minor.
It's a child.
So I didn't want to look into this. But...
So the child. So I saw a video of the child going on TikTok being like, "Kellyanne, you're going to fucking jail." Because apparently. She said the only way that would have happened is my mom just takes my phone out of nowhere. She just takes it. And that's the only way it would have ended up on her phone if she took the picture and sent it to herself or something.
Weird though, bro. Even if you're beefing with your child, like they beef publicly. Really, it should beat her ass. But
beat her ass for sure.
Post child porn to your Twitter account where you probably
the fact that you have your child's.
And then the fact that picture's even on your phone is fucking weird.
Yeah, because it's weird. Like it's like because I'm trying to think of even the situation where it's like maybe the girl sent the titty picture out to somebody. Who knows? The children do children things. She put the picture out, and then they sent it to the and then somebody got it and was like, I'm gonna sell it to somebody who's gonna hack Kellyanne's account, then post it to her account. It's a lot.
Topics?
It was weird.
Yeah, it was very messy. That's why I decided to ignore it.
But I'm talking about the news, bitch. It's news.
Okay, well, I don't want to.
Okay,
I don't
fine.
Equate anything to titties are near and dear to all of our hearts, and I don't want to equate anything that's not.
Anyway, in sports,
that's disgusting.
It's slow for sports. We got Super Bowl next weekend, I think.
Yeah,
this week when this drops.
This upcoming week when this drops, because we had the non-existent Pro Bowl this weekend where they're just playing Madden or some bullshit like that. But we got the Bucks versus the Chiefs. Do we have any predictions? Who do y'all think's gonna win?
I think the Chiefs might edge it out, but Either way, it'll be great. It'll be great. I I put it like this: I'm not a huge Tom Brady fan, but I appreciate Tom Brady's greatness,
Correct.
and
Same.
he's kind of a Trumpy guy for sure. But if he does win and retire, it would be it would be a nice. I'm tired of seeing Tom Brady play. He's old as hell. Congrats for making it this long, but in reality, bro, like no one wants to see a 45-year-old Tom Brady play. Like
I would love to see
I don't
Tom
want to.
Brady sit down after the season. Realistically, I don't think he will. Um, I'm going for the Chiefs. Always got to go with the black quarterback. Plus, I root against
Right.
MAGA ass Tom, but
Yeah.
like you said, he's the GOAT of quarterbacks. So I respect his game, but I'm gonna root against him. I'm going for the Chiefs. But
Yeah,
I would like to see it be a good game though. Like I wouldn't want to see the Chiefs just blow them out because I despise when Super Bowls are just blowouts. It's not fun to watch at that point.
And this is all we have too.
Yeah.
Like, we have nothing else. We need a good game, a good Super Bowl.
And I don't know anything about football at all. I know nothing about football, but I'm rooting for everybody black. And Jasmine is also singing the national anthem. So I will be watching Jasmine Sullivan sing the national anthem.
Is there a halftime show this year?
That I don't know.
Like I it's gonna be like weird
a virtual
experience this year because I don't even know. Like I know like a lot of longtime advertisers have pulled out from doing Super Bowl spots. Although I saw that the Where the Money Reside dude might have a Super Bowl commercial, which would be very dope to see.
Mary had a little lamb.
I'll get weak if I hear that. If I hear Mary had a little lamb, and that's on what? I will die on my couch if I hear that come from my television on Super Bowl Sunday.
The money resides with the money. The weekend is doing a halftime show.
Skill. Some weird makeup. Entertainment.
In entertainment, RIP to the iconic, the legendary Cicely Tyson.
Yes.
You know, she just came out with her memoir, and I'm gonna get it now, but I was I need to get that, you know, whatever. That's definitely something I need to add to my reading list. But Cicely, she was, you know, just regal, just a queen, just iconic. You when you would watch her, at least for me, when I would watch her on screen, you know, you shut your ass up and you listen. Like it was just
this land,
gyrating on over on this land. That's what she said.
On this land.
So RIP to a true
RIP to legends. We lost a lot of legends, man.
Larry
King, Cicely,
a
bunch. You know, in the a lot of people that are in the spotlight as well as close to us. So it's a tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough
I
time.
can't imagine how much like she was born in 1924. I think about how much life as a black person you saw starting in 1924, bro.
You were alive and well during civil rights. You were a lot of your schooling was segregated.
All of your schooling was segregated.
Yeah.
You were born in 1924.
I mean, all of your school was segregated. Like my grandmother, for example, she was born in 1935, and she got into Ohio State in the 1950s. And I'm like, damn, how the fuck, like for you to have gone to in today's time as a black person to get into those kinds of schools is shit. Like
I was talking to my dad. My parents are both baby boomers, and he was telling me he went to Brown, and before his class or whatever, they had never recruited black students from like up and down the East Coast or whatever. So before then, each class might have like, I think he said there were like 20 to 30 black students in the whole school before like his class came in, and then they had 20 to 30, I think, in their class or whatever. I was like, I can imagine like going to these institutions when there's no fucking. I mean, we thought Elon was bad, but like, in those spaces where civil rights violations were the normal, you might get called a nigga on a daily basis type thing. That's the life that those people live is even crazier to think.
Crazy.
But yeah, 96 years. Crazy. That's a long, beautiful life.
That's a full life for sure.
That's a full
and she
life
definitely did a lot. So RIP to her. ti&tiny.
Bro, niggas, look, we need a new batch of famous people
Can we retire all current famous people?
A lot of
Throw the
famous
nasty
people,
ones
except for
in jail?
Issa Rae and maybe Tyler Perry. That's about it. And Tyler,
We need
he's just
a
a nice
holdover
guy.
list. We need a few carryover.
Yeah,
I just feel like
Well, can you give background, Torrance, on what happened
So-
to people who don't know?
yeah. So ti&tiny allegedly they have been luring girls into their sex dungeon for years, and like, because what's her name? Shekinah. She was on Love and Hip Hop. She was saying that she was a part of people helping them recruit people to go and be a part of the
somebody
sex
came
dungeon.
out and accused
said,
them, and Shekinah came to their defense
and
saying
saying,
the girl that accused them was a part of the whole scheme, which that's like saying Kyle saying, you can't snitch on Danny. You did help Danny rob that person. It's like now you're accusing all of us of robbing the people.
everybody.
Then, like 15,
Exactly.
like 14 or 15 other women came out and said,
Women
like,
came out and
similar or
said-
the same thing happened to them
Yeah.
as well.
And
I think, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. To me, T.I. honestly is that is a nigga, an awful nigga to me. And so to me, like he just says things. He says the most awful, misogynistic, just straight hateful nigga shit.
He's
that
low-key
you're just
a
like,
light-skinned Dr. Umar. with
like
a
it's awful.
nice
It really is
vocabulary.
horrible. But he has a position. He says these things, and he'll come out and he'll say it. And I wouldn't
It's
put
a
it
mix
past his
between
ass.
misogyny and also ridiculous Southern values. Like when people try
Conservatives,
to,
like, yeah.
it's because like what's interesting about T.I. is he tries to come off as super articulate and vocabulary, and sure he can say things in a very
He read the dictionary.
exorbitant way.
So-
But for you to say stupid shit about checking your daughter's hymen, and then I look at like a Killer Mike, for example. A Killer Mike is somebody who he's a nigga, but also, and he's a little bit more conservative than that some people would like, but he knows like how, I don't know, he seems like someone that is willing to be educated. Whereas we all come from a place of ignorance, and that's all you can control it because you don't know what you don't know. So if you're someone that is not willing to be educated or enlightened and or brought up to speed with what should be right, then you truly are choosing to be ignorant, and that's the worst kind of person, I think. So like for him to say stupid shit like that about your daughter's hymen, but then you having all these fucking threesomes and shit and like talk, it kind of like, as someone who met you, Kyle's your uncle, and like I'm an uncle, and like I can only imagine saying something weird about like my niece or nephew in like a very double standard misogynistic way, like let alone our own kids. And it's just like, bruh, and I can go on and on. It's just weird. Like a lot of niggas just be weird for no reason, like, bruh. And where there's smoke, there's fire a lot of times. Like, shit happens where people are innocent. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire most of the time.
And the reality is that these people live totally different lives than what we live, right?
Like their normal is not normal.
Their normal is like, because eventually, and I don't know. I don't know if people get bored. I don't know if regular, just waking up every day and going through your life and handling your business gets bored to certain people. I think that it does. When your life has been consistently and constantly full of chaos, maybe you need chaos. Maybe that's what you need and you thrive for. People are just wired differently. But people typically in that position of power, I'm not putting it past people to be a part of some quote unquote conspiracy.
I'm not either. I'm not either. Maybe especially if y'all met each other on certain terms.
And to have 15 people be like, oh yeah, like yeah, that happened.
But it's also, I guess more so it's the fact that people, you do all this because there's all kind of different sexual shit that people are into that like whatever that you can't really judge.
Absolutely. I'm not saying it's a judgment.
I think that
it's more so that
people also like minors involved.
Exactly. That's the issue.
And like forced coercion, like taking
Because
away
at
their
the-
phones and
Because
locking
at the
them
end
in
of the
rooms
day,
and
if
shit
you're
like
gonna have a
that.
sex dungeon, have your sex dungeon. That shit's tight.
But
Have
make
your
it all
fucking sex dungeon,
consensual with
bruh.
consenting adults.
What's consenting
Right,
as
right,
adults?
right, right.
People who want to play,
We
We
let
wanna
them
shouldn't walk
play.
away. People should not be walking
Feel
away
any
feeling
weird, like
taken
I
advantage
feel-
of.
Exactly.
If it was bad
Exactly.
dick or coochie, then okay, it was some weak dick or coochie. That should be the
Right.
worst of it. But if I feel taken advantage of
And violated and
multiple times over,
used,
then
yeah,
that's
like
a bad thing.
that's just trash. Absolutely not. So I'm not. No. No. Trey Songz choked out a cop
It was at a football game.
at a football game because
The
he didn't want
Chiefs
to wear his
game, yeah.
mask. And
I don't know what happened directly.
yeah,
but
apparently he didn't want to wear his mask, and they were trying to get him to wear his mask, and then he
Damn,
just like
Trey Songz the
and then the police officer like rolled up on him, or the cop or security whatever rolled up on him, and he was being aggressive with Trey Songz, and Trey Songz said fuck it and put him in a headlock and drug his ass. It was quite
Which one of
entertaining,
y'all?
basically.
Which one of y'all?
So
wanna
shout out
get
to
choked
Trey
out?
Songz for choosing violence. I've never been a
Right,
Trey
yeah.
Songz fan, but also shout out to you for choosing
But
violence.
he's a
Do you think-
top-notch yodeler.
Well, yeah, Torrance. What if he was like Torrance? You know, he walked into the studio like, bro, like, look, I need to collaborate with you. We can collaborate as long as I just need to listen to all of your podcasts before we collaborate to make sure you never said anything.
No, I just said
about
I'm not
me.
a fan of it. I never said I never liked Trey Songz. I just said I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan.
But would you work with him, or what's
I
the
would
deal?
work with Trey Songz.
Why your voice get high like that when you said
Yeah,
it?
it sounds like you're lying.
See, this is what y'all do. This is gaslighting at its finest. and I
ask
love
follow-up
it.
questions?
This is excellent. This is excellent. Excellent.
This is the industry, really, because I'm trying to figure out where your head's at.
Okay. Well,
This is.
Trey Songz probably would never be like, Torrance, I want to work with you. I doubt that.
But what if he
my
did?
voice,
But
my
he
sound,
might.
my voice and my sound are very different than his.
What if he's going for
Yeah.
something new?
He wants
If
to
he's
cross
going for
over.
something new and he said, Torrance,
Or what if-
I would
or
definitely
what if
like
he-
to work together and we're in that space and all that shit happens, yes, I will
Or
work
what
with
if he
Trey
needs
Songz.
you
Is
as
that
like
the
a
question?
songwriter?
Is that the question? I would
Right.
write a song for the nigga.
But what if he was like Torrance? Like, all right,
Okay,
I love
because
this
y'all
song.
now y'all just trying to find things that I would.
Like,
I don't understand. What are y'all doing?
What if he
Okay,
needs
what if-
you to write the song and then sing
Okay.
the reference, and then he
Right.
steals your reference and then puts it onto the track and then doesn't pay you?
Well,
But also it's like-
Don't worry.
Then that's fighting.
When that
Then that's-
happens, we'll come after him because that means that me and Danny are losing money.
exactly.
so
I don't
you're-
fucking
Goodbye.
play about that shit.
Also, moving on. These TikTok challenges, they get nasty as shit.
Titty. I'm
they
seeing all
getting-
kind of naked people.
I'm seeing ass,
going on?
titties,
Mhm.
dick. I'm seeing it all. Y'all cover up.
TikTok is chaotic.
You're
Y'all cover
nasty,
up.
you're nasty.
Y'all out here.
Y'all doing the silhouette challenge. Also, I'm gonna need y'all to learn how to spell.
Oh.
Learn how to spell silhouette, please.
With a C. Silhouette with a C. I
Yeah,
probably
child,
definitely
people-
tried to.
I will say people struggling with that silhouette. They struggling spelling that.
37
That's the
different
damn truth.
hashtags for the same damn challenge.
Salute each other.
But yeah, TikTok getting nasty. You know, it
Y'all
started off,
nasty.
with Busted, then there was the
Look, seeing all of these challenges and shit, and just the chaos that ends up on Twitter, I cannot get into TikTok, bro. It just seems like you scroll and every single thing is noise and niggas dancing and moving and shit. It just seems like violence to me, and
Yeah.
I already choose enough of it.
All
I'ma
the
give
good
it a
ones are
shot.
gonna make its way to Twitter for me, so I'm gonna just stick with that.
I'm
for
gonna
now.
give TikTok a shot because of the instantaneous sort of sharing that happens on TikTok. If you do
But
it
you know
right.
it's going to. People talked about TikTok in a way early on because TikTok was a little bit more of a natural algorithm and reach. Like, for example, when we started Twitter back in 2011 or so, or 10,
It was
like,
just
you were constantly getting followers because your people saw your stuff.
Mhm.
And whereas now it's like it's hard to get followers unless you really have. Like, I had a viral tweet for Versus and I got like 50, 60 followers. But it's like once you get like a viral moment, then like you get in front of people a lot more. But like nowadays with these apps, it's like I feel like people don't see stuff unless you schedule it out this specific time. I was scrolling on Instagram last night, and I just like for the first time thought about how many scrolls, how long does it take until I actually see somebody that I know, like a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I kept scrolling. I could not find someone
I
that
hate the algorithm. I want to see other people's pictures that I follow. Like I follow
It was
over
like-
1,000 people I know.
And so that's the
I
thing
want to see
about
more
it-
pictures, please.
that's the thing about TikTok is that it doesn't give you the concept of it is not to necessarily.
but it's going to change, Torrance.
It's gonna
Yeah.
change, absolutely.
If it
Danny.
hasn't already.
Sure, fine. But the concept of it is to, like, when you're on your page or whatever, it's all about the explore page. Like, you know, that explore page that's on Instagram? It's all about seeing other people's random videos, all about doing like the news, sort of seeing what the thing is trending now.
Interesting.
The concept of it is not about having a friend and being connected with specific people that you may know or whatever. This is like, it's like Tumblr to me. Tumblr is like just super random.
Yeah.
And this is like, to me, in a weird way, not necessarily replacing Tumblr, but kind of has that same, like, these are just rando people, rando things that are being retweeted, reblogged or whatever, versus Twitter or Instagram, where you're like, okay, I have a decent connection to a lot of the people that I do follow, and I listen to them and I share their stuff, and we can like truly interact. But on TikTok, it's just random, just like Tumblr is just random. So that's why I'm thinking, like, that's why I kind of like, I'm not good at TikTok. I'm not good at it at all, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see what it does. I'll be the guinea pig and I'll let y'all know.
Yeah, do that. Report back here.
Congrats.
The last thing on entertainment, I know it's been long, but Lil Uzi Vert, he got a pink diamond surgically implanted into his forehead.
We need a new batch of famous people.
Like Vision?
Period.
Like Vision?
Yeah, we need a new batch.
He spent millions of dollars on a pink diamond that he's been paying on since, I believe it was 2017.
A diamond on
I also
Lego,
don't.
put it in his
I
forehead?
also don't like. It also makes sense that he's been famous for that long, but it also is like, has he been famous for that long? But he has been. But
look,
like,
Uzi's made some slaps. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong, but we need a new batch of just regular famous niggas.
We could
Yeah.
retire
And-
about
and-
95% of current famous people.
Yeah.
Happy.
they're tired.
And or we just need to stop focusing on fame, because people, I think maybe it's the fame part that makes people
that
very
loses their
weird.
damn mind. Because he literally got it surgically implanted into his forehead like Vision. So he got a nice little pink diamond right here now.
That's nasty.
Okay.
Sponsor break. What is our sponsor break? This podcast is brought to you by Black History Month. Black people of all ages and shapes and sizes and religions and orientations. Thank y'all for helping us be alive.
Amen.
Yes. Good job. Okay. So for our first episode of Black History Month, we wanted to each highlight a figure in Black history that you may know, you may not know. Just give you a little background.
What if we pick the same people?
That's gonna be really awkward.
We won't.
We did not.
Okay.
I don't know who y'all picked. We haven't discussed it. So
At all. So that's why I asked that question.
If we
Because I was
pick
like,
the same person, there's a lack of creativity going on here.
clearly. Go
Would you
for
like
it.
to go first? You want me to go first?
Go ahead, Torrance.
Yeah.
Me?
Torrance.
Okay, I'll go first, sure. So my the person that I'm going to highlight is Bayard Rustin.
Who?
He
Oh
is
yeah. Oh Byard. Yeah.
Oh, Bayard. Yeah.
Tomato, potato.
Bayard Rustin, excuse
Oh,
me.
yeah.
He's a civil rights activist. He is credited, but secretly credited, unfortunately, as now
yes.
publicly credited for being the organizer of the March on Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He was unable to be publicly because he was a gay man, and they thought that it would be too controversial. He also had some ties to like allegedly a Communist Party in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But the focal point from my
then.
understanding, exactly, that was the way back then. But it was more so the fact that he was a gay man. But it was him and I think one other person. But he pretty much organized everything from the shadows. and unfortunately was not able to take credit for that until many, many, many years later. He was definitely a pioneer in the civil rights movement. A lot of things that Martin Luther King did, they discussed together, they worked on together. He was a huge catalyst, a huge name to know. So Bayard, Rustin.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, man. Something about communities and friendships that and love and like a common goal that will bring different kinds of people together. Like you look at someone like a Bayard that is attaching himself to a literal reverend, and what people traditionally try to think about what religion is or spirituality is. You'd be surprised how often we get in the way of ourselves as a people. Not saying us three, but people get in the way of themselves by just trying to abide by some rule or rules or theology, whatever it is. So I feel like all those things can probably happen 100 times over, where there's people that haven't been accredited or haven't collaborated with because of whatever reason.
That was a huge part of the initiation of a lot of the movements in the beginning, right? Like a lot of the protests and things like that for Black Lives Matters that were happening in individual cities. A lot of times when they were individual, like localized city organizers, they would not want queer people. They would not want Black queer people to be a part of the movement. So there was this whole divide sort of in the beginning, like in 2015 and like early, around that time when it was like truly hitting the fan, all the shit hit the fan. It was a problem because people were excluding, people of queer people of color from being a part of those marches. So it was like, you're not marching for all Black lives. You're just marching for the ones that you think that matter.
Some Black lives matter.
Some Black lives matter, right? And so then here we are now, 2021. Over the last couple of years, it came to sort of all Black lives matter. That sort of conversation and queer people being sort of the being seen like, oh no, like this was started by Black women, right? This whole movement was started by Black women who were inclusive of queerness, and I think maybe one of them was queer. I'm not sure. I don't want to misidentify anybody, but it was always this inclusivity. But when it comes to people doing their own thing, deciding on their own thing, like the lack of and that was years ago. That was, what is it, 63? So here we are still dealing and being a part of those same and still having those same sort of issues brought up.
Same shit.
It's nice now. Yeah, but it's nice now that I think more people are being like, okay, all Black Lives Matter. More people I think now than before are like, okay, we can't act like that, y'all.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's mine.
Cool. I'll go next. I selected Robert Singstack Abbott. I know I butchered that second middle name, but he was born in 1870 to recently freed parents. So he was born just after the Civil War. So he's a first generation free African American person. But he was a newspaper publisher and a lawyer. I feel like every successful Black person was like a lawyer and some other field. Like they was like, fuck, I'm going to law school. It's like what Black people did back in the day. But he founded the Chicago Defender in 1905, and it became the most widely circulated Black newspaper in the whole country, which is really dope. And it really encouraged Black people to move from the South to the North, especially to Chicago. And it's really credited as becoming one of the major factors in people actually migrating as part of the Great Migration up north. One of the things that the newspaper slogan, was, quote, "America, race prejudice must be destroyed." So kind of as a Black man really espousing these views publicly back in this era was a pretty dangerous thing to do. But he was really for Black freedom, Black liberation, and making sure that our people came forward. And fun fact, he started the newspaper with an initial investment of 25 cents. Which is like $7 nowadays. and it started as a 4-page pamphlet that he was printing in the room he lived in a boarding house. And also, he was one of the earliest self-made Black millionaires in the country. Not the first, but one of the early ones. But yeah, he was a true visionary. He set the stage for a lot of like Black newspapers and magazines to come after that. So we probably wouldn't have had like the Ebony and the Jets, and a lot of the big publications that came out in the 50s and 60s and 70s moving forward without him. So yeah, Robert Abbott.
That's very dope. I feel bad because
if you pick Issa Rae, I'm gonna
picks...
slap you. You pick Diddy. You definitely picked somebody for like the last decade.
Damn near, yeah.
Lil Rel.
Yesterday.
I should have went first. I should have said Tommy from.
You picked the Where the Money Reside, dude.
Yeah. He hit his quotas 8 months in a row. He sold 1,100 Honda CRVs in the last 2 fiscal years.
And that's a what? And that's a what?
He is sales rep of the quarter 4 quarters in a row.
Where the money is at.
And he currently lives where? No. So my pick was this is very recent. Because I feel like y'all are gonna be serious throughout the month, and I can just fuck off and call out people that I actually think are cool and would be happy to see during these times. But my pick is Patrice
Oh yes.
Okay.
I like that one.
Comedian.
I like that one.
Patrice from Boston. He died 2011, and it's been a minute, and I think he was one of those people. He's like a comic that most people, most comedians like the Bill Burrs of the world, when you hear them speak about guys that they miss and would love to have during this time, a lot of those guys that came up in that little class of comedians will bring up Patrice. Mm-hmm. And I think the great thing that we all can admire about Patrice is that like he was articulate enough to talk about race, similar to like Chris Rock and Chappelle, but still be funny and still be like pissed off. And I think a lot of that, his comedy and the way he talked about stuff was similar. It's similar to how I feel and sometimes do my comedy. I'm sure I'm in a long line of PatriceO'Neal fans and like influence. But I would just love to hear what he has to say about all this shit right now.
He would thrive with like a 2020 environment, seeing all the shit that went down. Like literally, Elephant in the Room is one of my top 5 stand-up specials. Yeah. Like I love that special so much. R.I.P. to Patrice, man. He was amazing.
Exactly. So he's my pick. It was a close. I'll save the other, but yeah, Patrice. Just a great comedian, great overall personality that would have been perfect to still have during these times. It would have helped us get through some of this bullshit that we got to go through in life as a society.
Yeah, no, that would have been good to hear him nowadays. I can't believe it's been 10 years. That's wild to think.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But I like that little segment. I think we can keep that through Black History Month for sure.
Absolutely.
What are we watching? What's the one of these on the list? I was watching earlier, the Brooklyn Saints.
Yeah, that's I love all those shows where they have kids playing football.
You see the concussions and shit.
Yeah, like I love seeing little kids get CTE. Like, he got smacked. I can see it for me. But no, like, this one is based in Brooklyn, which is the area you really see like football stories coming out of.
Literally me, yeah, no.
So, but it's really good. It's one of those like feel good. The coaches love the kids type thing.
I love you, my son. Hey,
like the Gridiron Gang.
No, but it's like they're like all under like 12, so it's like
it's like they're
it's children.
Like
son,
the oldest
go to the A gap,
13.
son.
It's like they're children.
Catch the fucking.
Catch
the fucking ball, son.
But it's not like the shows like I think it was like Friday Night Tykes, where it's like they're treating the kids like they're professional athletes at 6 years, like at 8 years
and
old.
going off on them damn kids
in Texas. That was a great show, by the
It
way.
was. That's on Netflix too. That's a good watch if you into that type of stuff.
When I was unemployed, not this last time, but the time before that, I binge watched that shit. When I tell you that was the highlight of my day for like 2 weeks straight, was binge watching Friday Night Tykes.
Oh, great watch. Great watch.
One of the best shows.
Also, the new Denzel movie that came out on Friday. I don't know. Have y'all watched it?
I did.
Keiko told me to watch it. I need to watch it. It's on my list. I'll probably watch it tonight with dinner.
I'll say it's so for you to know, it's Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto, all Oscar winners within their own rights. Very good acting, very interesting story. I thought it was a little bit slow. It's a long movie. It's like a little over 2 hours long.
Is it?
They call it a psychological thriller.
Okay, I like them shits. We good.
I don't really think it's
psychological.
I don't think it's that. I don't know if there's a thriller.
It's not sci-fi.
Is it thrilling? Is it not psychological or is it not thrilling?
It's more of like it's just dark kind of.
It's a dark drama, basically.
Yeah, with
some psychology in it, though.
With some psych thriller elements, but I wouldn't say it's like a psychological thriller or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But
I like that kind
decent
of
movie.
I think that might be turning into some of my favorite genre, like that.
Psychological thrillers are
like I didn't
movies are some.
I didn't realize I loved them so much until like I guess the pandemic. Honestly, when I started watching so many more of those, I was like, oh, I love this kind of shit. Like this is my jam. Speaking of heist movies or heist shows, Lupin. I finally watched Lupin.
Woo!
Yes.
All right, so Lupin, if you haven't watched it yet,
you need to.
It's a series about this 6'5" black dude finessing all ages of white chicks in the UK. That's the whole premise. All he's doing is finessing white hoes like the whole time. Like, let me get a couple dollars
too. Just FYI.
Right? Yeah.
It's dubbed and it's fine. It's fine that it's dubbed.
We didn't even dub it. Yeah,
I watched it subbed.
Sub, yeah, not dubbed.
Dubbed is when they do their voices over, so it's in your own.
They had that though.
That's what I'm saying.
I hate.
That's
dubbed.
what I'm saying. I watched it while it was dubbed only because I was like I think I was doing something at the same time, like simultaneously.
Most shows, like the dubbings are really bad and just pisses me off, so I'd rather just read.
But the dubbing wasn't too bad. Like it wasn't that bad on this one. Like
Ashley didn't let me dub it, so we had to watch it. It was still good.
Ashley said no, we can't do that.
She likes shit in different languages. She watches like Asian movies and stuff. Kyle.
I do. I kind of do too. So I enjoy like
that's my bad.
Kind of shit.
I know you would like that.
But it was really good.
Know.
Torrance, we had to force you to watch past the first episode because of the blatant.
Because the first episode, I ain't trying. I guess it's been out for a while, so I could say it. But I don't like when people fuck around and try to pin shit on black daddies. Like, leave black daddies alone. Like, y'all over here trying to fuck up this man. This black man ain't do shit, you white mother. I was pissed, boy. I was sitting there like, I can't watch this shit no more. I'm done.
The whole series is about this black dude finessing these white joints.
White people, this the entire time. So I kind of like it. It ended kind of like
out
damn.
this summer.
Oh, it is?
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, they just announced that the other day. So it was only 5 episodes. It was so quick.
They need to make a remake for America, and like instead of him being like a bank robber or something, he's like a college like running back or something.
But I like the finesse. Okay. I like my God. I like the finesse though. I like the sort of way that they use the Lupin book, like the heist, master or whatever, and how they use him in each and every episode. How there's one thing that he does.
Yeah,
to
he's smooth with it.
And you think that he's something went wrong, but then it's like, oh no, I'm playing that shit. Like I've been playing that. I kind of like shows like that where you don't know how they figure kind of shit out like that. So,
similar to like a college running back from like a
what?
Huh?
That's committing crimes.
No.
Also, last time my watch list for this week, I've been watching WandaVision on Disney Plus.
I haven't done that yet.
So I think I'm behind.
There's been 4 episodes
maybe.
now. There's been 4 episodes.
So I've seen 3 of them. Then.
Okay, watch the 4th one. Things started to come a little bit more full.
Okay, because I'm like I like it because
it's different. It's very different than anything Marvel's ever done before.
And that's why I like it. But so it like intrigues me to kind of see what's coming on that.
The 4th episode is really where it starts to
come together. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, still a lot of questions unanswered, but
enough where you're like, Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that too.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna wait till it's out, and then I'm gonna get rid of one of my subscriptions, and just get that for like a hot little second.
Well,
I have
you
too
can
many
get it for free,
subscriptions.
can't you?
Disney
free
Plus.
trial? Don't you get a free trial on that?
I already had it. I already had one.
You only got one email address?
That is also true. Black man.
Black man, you only got one? That's cool. All right,
Black.
cool.
That's
That's
young Black
Disney
King.
Plus,
okay.
Disney Plus January at gmail.com.
Okay,
Right.
basically.
February at gmail.com.
Basically,
That's
man.
funny as
You
hell.
only got one? Damn, that's crazy. You only got one.
And Hotmail. These got gone through the
Of course, got
AOL.
Earthlink accounts going for free trials and shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
BlackPlanet.com.
Black Planet, yeah, shit.
That's funny. All right, what's our final thoughts?
Enjoy this Black History Month. Try to learn about somebody different. Maybe, yeah, not the MLKs or Harriet Tubmans. So all those people are Malcolm X's. All those people are great, but try to learn something about somebody you didn't know anything about before. Makes it
Your
more
roots.
interesting than what you learned about at school. Yeah, maybe even watch the whole thing of Roots if you got.
Woo,
some time on your
don't.
Oh my
hands.
god,
Don't.
please.
Don't do
please.
it.
Oh my god.
Not do it.
If you've never
Jesus.
watched it before,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
But
god, no.
it might be too much going on in the world to then also, because I watched Roots
Woo.
in Alamance County where it's set.
Where it's
No,
set,
why
yeah.
would you?
People are always shocked when I tell them that Elon is in Alamance County and then that Roots is set in Alamance County. They're like, what?
Child, because they didn't have to do too much. They didn't have to do too much. They had to change up too much of the scenes at all. That shit look just the same. Fuck what you heard. Okay.
Holy Hill
County.
Mall is all the same. What's this fucking?
Alamance County been about that shit. What the fuck you mean? They ain't change shit. They ain't changed the goddamn thing. Alamance
Crazy
County.
Fire. Crazy
Okay.
Fire, 200 years
R.I.P.
old. What the fuck?
All right, Crazy Fire.
R.I.P. the Crazy Fire.
The worst thing about Roots is like 18 different like it's like I think there's a
then
Roots.
it's the next generation.
It's like
Yeah, I mean the OG was 10 hours long. So if
Yeah.
you've watched that once, I think you're set for life.
I think you're okay. And like honestly, I remember that. I will never forget it.
I watched
Kinda
it in
thing.
high school.
I watched it in college.
I watched it. I think it was in high school. Me and my mom watched it together, and it was like a break, a random break. And she's like, "I'm gonna warn you now.
Oh,
You're not gonna really like white people."
I think my parents have it on
Listen.
DVD actually.
that's a lot.
That's
I mean,
that's
Black, you're supposed to have DVDs if you're your parents' age. If you're honestly, if you're above 38, you're supposed to have a lot of DVDs.
no, yeah. We have a lot of. If y'all
You
went to
have a
my
whole
house and
DVD
saw
wall.
DVDs,
We right, yeah, you're supposed to.
Kyle, I don't think Kyle's seen all the DVDs that we have in our house. I don't even know. Like, we have an
I've seen the
absurd
wall of
amount. Oh yeah, you
DVDs
see the wall,
just
not the other
DVDs
one.
just became obsolete like
Yeah.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Every Tuesday, a new release of DVDs.
That's what I'm saying, right.
DVDs. Like, it was like a thing.
so I don't.
That's
I don't,
funny.
I
I miss
don't
when
hate.
CDs and DVDs. I miss when CDs and DVDs came out on Tuesdays and then new movies came out on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was like an in
era.
between of the week where you were like, oh shit, this thing about to
Tuesdays for
drop.
new music.
Bad. Like,
Remember, Kyle? Remember we went and bought Born Center, J. Cole's
Mhm.
album, and listened to it in your apartment that summer. Yeah,
Mhm.
those moments where you had to go physically go get something, you
to
could
get
see
something.
it,
Yeah.
take the paper off, you could read the fucking look at the art of it.
The
I
last physical CDs I think I bought were J. Cole, whatever that last one that was like 2016. I bought that.
Forest
the
Hill
Young Legend
Drive.
album, and then the Childish Gambino album. Like all three of those that came out that one summer. But that was the last time I ever bought a CD. That was like 4 or 5 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Now
I
you
haven't
can't
even bought
use
anything
them.
since
I
then.
mean, I have anywhere to play a DVD or play a CD player or CD unless I put it into my Xbox.
Yeah.
That's like
Right.
that's the only place I have to play it.
When I get a forever home, I might get have a audio wall
Like a
and stuff where you can
yeah,
put
absolutely.
different stuff in. But
I think my dad has some old stuff that he doesn't use anymore, so I'm gonna just steal it when I move out and have a whole stereo rack with all that shit. So yeah,
right,
we can play CDs in my apartment.
yeah, exactly. What is my hot take? I don't know, man. Just try to find something find some kind of way to find your peace, because I am not right now. Like, I'm stuck in a house. You know, I get to do stuff here and there, like the popup.com.tv. I'm sorry. Show's been great. We saw a lot more traffic this past episode. We got a sponsor. So we're making moves. So shout out to the popup.com. But like that, I'm used to being able to on a weekly basis be performing 3-4 times a week at least, and on top of podcasting. So not having that, like I'm just really like on edge. Like I've been DJing a little bit to practice that to give myself.
Have you thought of a new DJ name yet?
No, DJ Blackass.
I want it better for you in 2021.
All right, but when them shits is slapping, you're gonna be like, damn, this is my jam. He played it.
Never.
My jam,
I think we've all come to the realization that I'm just fed up. I'm fed up
with
every time I this whole panty thing. I'm kind of sick of the panty. I'm sick of the panty. I'm fed up. But like in a different way of fed up than I had been before. Like before I was like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh man, this is so annoying. Now I'm mad.
Well, shit,
now I'm actually like pissed.
We're about to hit the 1 year mark.
I'm like at the point where I'm just like, I was drinking yesterday and I was just like,
we saw your tweets.
Okay. And I was sitting here, I was like, yo, we really in a pandemic.
What were you drinking, Nouveau?
Nouveau, you seem like a Nouveau ass nigga.
Oh, I do. That's cute for you. I don't know. I'm just at the point where I'm realizing that like, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last on this shit. So I gotta find something. Something gotta give. Something has to happen. So
friends. I'm telling you, we need to do friends shit.
That may be
another
very
9 months until we can really get outside.
That's absurd, right? Because I think I would.
But it's realistic, bro.
No, I'm just saying. Like I get what you mean, though. Like it's gonna be another 9 months before it all happens.
2021 is still on.
And at first, you were like, "Oh, let's do a boys trip." I was like, "Danny, where the fuck we gonna go? How are we gonna do that?"
We can go get a fucking cabin somewhere and get a bunch of liquor.
I'm down for that once we're all in LA. Like once we're down, like get Big Bear or something like that. I'm very down for that.
That shit sound weird, but trust me.
It don't sound weird at all.
No.
It sounds like a fantastic, great time.
That sounds like a great vibe. I would take
hanging out with
days
your
off of work to do that as well.
What the fuck you mean? Y'all like family. Right. It'd be different if it was like some random people that I don't really know and I'm just going to scam.
Post
up.
This is like random.
Y'all not strangers.
Oh, that is, bro. People that all right. Also, this is my last thing I'm gonna say. If you are someone that goes to random travel groups, you are a fucking night stalker. What is wrong with you, bro? Why would you ever want to travel with
a bunch of strangers?
You can meet strangers at a local bar. Why would you ever do that? Torrance, are you all right?
Yep.
I know, but this kid used to work on my team. I had a kid on my team that went to Europe, and I didn't realize he came back. He told me. I said, this makes sense that you did this. He went like a week and a half trip all through Europe. Didn't know anybody on the trip.
No, thank you.
Like, bro, did they all make it back home alive? Like, what do you mean, bro? Like, you can meet strangers at the local club.
Yeah, like, I get that it might be cheaper, maybe, but
go to Europe.
Not worth it. With strangers, I don't like random people, so no, thank you for me.
Like, it's one like Jesus. I know, like some for example, one kid that was on my team. He went to like Birthright. He was Jewish. So that's different. You know,
that's different.
But this kid was just pulled up to Europe. Just raw dogged it to Europe like with strangers. I'm like, bro, you deserve all violence.
I'm done. I'm over.
All right. This has
not
been
expecting that use of that word, but okay.
I mean, raw dogging as in like just didn't know anything, like went in naked.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I know what raw dogging means, but I wasn't expecting that phrase to be put
correct
in this situation.
But you were about to close this out, Danny?
Yeah, this has been a great podcast. Black History Month. Show love to everybody. Be safe. Don't be racist or prejudiced or whatever it is. God bless.
Bye.